And this will help with all of that. Fresh homemade baked bread can be easier than you think. The best-selling book, Artisan Bread in 5 Minutes a Day, has been revamped and now includes a gluten-free chapter, how-to photos, and 30 brand new recipes. Who doesn't love good bread? Authors Jeff Hertzberg and Zoe Francois are here this morning. Nice to have you both here.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, nice to meet you both. More than 500,000 copies of your book have been sold. Tell us about the new recipes.
Well, it's a miracle we got to think about the new recipes because of our website, breadin5.com. So our readers told us what they wanted. They wanted rolls, they wanted crock pot,
right?
And they definitely wanted gluten-free. So we have one chapter on gluten-free. It's mostly a wheat book, but for folks who are making for friends who have gluten-free problems, they can go ahead and do it.
And I guess we're going to be making some bread in a crock pot this morning.
Yes,
we'll show you.
Yeah, let's get to it.
So the dough mix is about the same as it ever was for us. Just really quick, dump and stir. Flour, water, salt, yeast is all that's in it.
All right.
We use Red Star yeast. We've always tested with it. We like their new Platinum product. And we adjusted the salt, so if you want a tablespoon, great. If you want a tablespoon and a half, also great.
Okay.
And then 6.5 cups of unbleached, or bleached, all-purpose flour. We have always tested with gold medal, which is available everywhere. And so it's all
why is it, do you think, people, and myself probably in that category too, are intimidated about making bread? Why is that?
There's this mystique about killing the yeast. And it's because the old methods had you using pretty warm water and you occasionally killed it. Zoe and I have had only one yeast failure in like 30 years.
Yeah, I can remember that when my mom it had to raise or something overnight.
Yeah, you don't have to do any of that anymore. Modern yeast never fails. And we mix a wet dough that's going to get stored in the fridge, which is why we claim 5 minutes.
It already smells good. How is that possible?
Because yeast smells good.
Is that what it is?
I think.
Yeah.
So this is really not ready to go, but we're not going to need it. We're just going to leave it on the counter for 2 hours, cover it up during that time, lightly. Don't pop it closed. And then into the fridge for up to 2 weeks, and then it's always ready for you.
For up to 2 weeks?
For up to 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because it's wet, you can get away with it.
And you can still keep it kind of cracked while it's in the fridge?
For the first 2 days to let the
days.
gas out. Then you can usually close it.
Good.
Zoe puts a hole in the top of it. She's going to show how to do it.
So this is what the dough looks like after it's risen, after the first 2 hours, and you can use it right away, or you, like Jeff said, you can put it in the fridge. I'm going to dust some flour on there just so my hands won't stick, and then look at how nice and stretchy that is.
That's like fun.
Yeah, so after that sort of craggly mess that he just made, it turns into a beautiful dough.
Yeah.
And really quickly, like 20 seconds, I'm going to form this into a nice, smooth, pretty ball of dough. And I'm going to put that on a cornmeal dusted pizza peel, just like this. And this has been rising for about 40 minutes. And I'm going to really quickly dust that with a little more flour. I'm going to give it a slash with a knife. And then we're going to throw that right into the oven that has a preheated stone.
Yep.
And then a tray.
Is that a key to get one of these preheated stoves like that?
Exactly. The stone conducts heat and it helps to develop a really nice crust.
I see a tip there happening with the pan below it.
Yep. So a little bit of steam will help the rise and also make a shiny crust. But if you want to do this without heating up your oven, you can do it right in a crock pot.
I love my crock. I've learned to love my crock pot because I cook more these days. So
we have a ball of dough.
Okay.
I didn't even have to let it rise, and then we're just going to lower that right into.
Can I do that?
Please.
All right. Hello, crock pot. This is a nice crock pot.
It's a gorgeous crock pot, isn't it?
It's real fancy.
Put the lid on there, turn that on, and about an hour later, you have a loaf of bread.
And I just have it on this wax paper, or is that
That's actually parchment paper, and we do
I knew that term. Yes, parchment paper.
We do it so that you have a sling to lower it in with.
I see.
And then it bakes right on the parchment.
That's
and you can even
simple.
use parchment in the oven, too.
Did you say 5 minutes?
Yes.
Wow.
And then this will take about an hour in your crock pot. It depends on the crock pot. It can be an hour, a little bit more for some.
The girls don't know it, but Dad's making bread tonight for dinner. That just happened. That's good. Excellent. All right. And gluten-free is also very good.
Gluten-free. And you can see we have about 100 different recipes in the book. So the same method of dumping all the ingredients in the bucket, stirring it up, and it's just that easy.
Excellent. Well, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
I've learned something, and I've learned that I can make bread and not feel, all crazed about it. Thanks so much.
It's easy and fun.
Again, if you you can go to a baking class, the Cooks of Crocus Hill. It's tonight in St. Paul from 6 till 8. You must register online, though, at the Cooks of Crocus Hill Fox9.com. And then mark your calendar for this one. They will be signing the Artisan Bread book December 1st from 2 to 4 at Majors and Quinn on Hennepin Avenue in Minneapolis. So a couple of good events tonight and then a little later. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Love the bread. Can't wait to sample some of your bread.
Yeah.
Keith Marler, nothing like, look at that. You can make bread yourself in the crock pot. Do it for the kids. They'll love you for it.